Here we get going for the afternoon session. Hope you all enjoyed your lunch. I had my 34-cent microwave roll from Lidl's. Baguette, garlic baguette, very nice. Very nice for my financial plan as well, as is this container of water. And let's go. So, keeping with the same thing, talk about like people. There's a lot of talk about save our planet and that. What about strategy to save money to save our planet? Would save money like is save our planet, and that's what I'm trying to talk. Like if you think of earlier in this morning's lecture, we were talking about the Rockefeller Center. And he said, "No, we weren't. We're talking about UCC." But the Rockefeller Center is where this came from because people are always talking, "Oh, Rockefeller's great." I said, "You go to." I went to Macy's. I said, "You don't know about that." So he said, "What?" I said, that's the Rockefeller. He said, "Yeah, that's the I do know, it's the Rockefeller Center. You know the big red steps?" I said, "Yeah, in the video and the music video with the girl, Leisha." And I said, "No, that's all owned, that was Standard Oil owned, the Rockefeller family owned Standard Oil, 1870 to 1914. But they were shut down by the Federal Trade Commission in 1914, and then there was 200 companies made. All right, so if you're shut down by federal trade, it means basically you're a fraud. All right, so they say, how Rockefeller fraud? Like they're the biggest billionaires in New York City. The company practices were fraudulent for business. All right, to people who were investors, so they were frauding their investors because it's better for business to have more companies stateside. Like the Nasdaq. That's how the Nasdaq was set up. Nasdaq was never there when Wall Street was originally there. That's only a new thing. So we're all learning together, right? But this is a finance department for this part of the lecture. So UCC should be shut down by the FTC because they are calling themselves. I have no problem with social sciences, business and law, arts, but they don't do that stuff. You know, in CIT, LIT, UL, UCD, people are getting a return investment on investing in the university. So it's a fraud of government money, like a biggest crockery, all right, to invest government money in the department where the professionals are not professional. They're fake. They're fake. So you can't call them. And what about the families who invest money in them? They're not, so like, and people say, "Oh well, I'm from Cork. I'm a Cork businessman." I don't care what they say in the departments. We get our money. We're the Cork bourgeois. And I say, Cork will still be big. Rockefeller are still big. And Cork and Rockefeller are bigger than ever than they were. Standard Oil is small potatoes now. Cork will be as bigger than it ever was if they stop having a fraudulent business. You see, as a business, but they're frauds. So for that reason, they should be shut down by the FTC straight away, pure and simple. And that's the end of it. Because in the interest of Cork, it's in Cork's interest to shut down the UCC. And then you think, like someone said, well, you can hump off because we're all investors and we're all happy in the south side. Fair enough, right? But I hope your fun lasts, because what if I had a lighting company? What if I was getting windows and lights? What would I be looking for? Guarantees. What kind of guarantees would I be looking for windows on my budget? Are they weatherproof? Are they stormproof? What else would I be looking at? What about that black rubber? Those rubbers on the inside and the outside when you open your window are rubbers. I have a gauge. I'll get a measuring tape when I go to the window shop. Is it a standard size? I'll get the size. I'll make it my responsibility. For a generic size, and I won't buy it. So some window company might have a special size, you see, to put the other guys out of business, to create a monopoly. And then a lighting company would have their tradies to have a special size. But then, for the first 2 years, it's great. You get all the return calls every time the lights are on. Some old granny says, "My grandson can't do it." We get your man. Sure, it's only 50 quid. What about 3 or 4 years' time? People cop it on, you see? So this is getting on. And then, in 10 years, they have no business at all, and the company falls. So if they did it right, they'd say, well, we had a good time. We had 20 containers, 20 containers come in the first year. They made 40 containers because the lights kept going out. It was all a big scam, you know. The scam. So the UCC are probably happy now because no one's scamming the scam, you know. But it's my thing, you know. It's not my thing, you know. Not my thing. Really, I have plans, you know, in my life beyond 10 years, 15 years, and like I saw Alstom this morning. I always check Alstom every 6 months. Their website, check it out. I'll leave the link in this. Chennai Metro, you know, about 52 stations, like Chennai Super Kings, the cricket team. I just saw there in the news a few months ago, Alstom are putting, you know, CAE and KNX equidistant between Rouen and Cherbourg. They wouldn't have any money in Kane really because it's only a beach. They're getting trams off Alstom. So no job is too big or small, you know. If you're not expanding, you're shrinking. UCC are shrinking their brains, and I don't know, they're kind of head shrinks for a hypnotist, you know, like a hypnotist. I think people are hypnotized, and this is what I'm trying to impose. I think people who are hypnotized are kind of driving at the wheel, you know, and I think it's kind of a microcosm. I'm not saying the universities that are mentioned in Ireland are great, like all high and might never went to them, but people in some things are hypnotized. Like if you're calling yourself social sciences and you're not teaching Noyos politic and renewing your curriculum, realpolitik, settlements, Maastricht Treaty, it could be a general hypnotist thing, generally in Irish politics. So that's the reason we're in the skint, you know, because a town the size of Cain, city the size of Chennai, that's why we're in the skint. We're not expanding.